that I had, as a guitarist, I had a studio in my garage. And the reason I built a studio on Sunset Boulevard called California Recorders was because my neighbors complained about me making noise at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I rented this little storefront and built a studio into quite a business. So with that came along some young men who I needed help to record, become an engineer. So one kid came along, and he had recorded in my studio when they were in high school, and they weren't so good. It was called the New Zoo. It was called the American Zoo. But anyway, this kid comes along and he says, "Hey, can I work for you?" And I said, "I'll teach you everything I know, and I'll teach you how to produce things." I didn't ask him to give me 10% of everything you make, because I'll tell you what happened with this guy. He became such a good engineer that the Ventures loved him. And Don and Bob were recording in our studio, and they would record for like a week at a time. These were long sessions that they were doing. And I loved what their work was. And I had a Jazzmaster guitar, and I think Don says, "By the way, you got a Jazzmaster guitar." And I said, "Well, that's the one that Leo Fender's loaning to me. I didn't buy it, but as long as I play." He said, "Do you think if I could use it on a session?" "Yeah, absolutely. I'll loan it to you." Here, they love the Jazzmaster guitar. It's a great. Now they're just beginning to realize the Jazzmaster guitar is a great guitar. So my engineer, this young man, got pretty good, and he was recording the Ventures, and they said, "This kid that you got recording, we've recorded the tracks in your studio, but they want to mix it in Japan with a Japanese mixer. But we like your mixer better." Well, that's because I taught this young man so well. I take a pat on my back, and his name is Bill Bottrell. And they said, "Could we fly Bill Bottrell to Tokyo to mix on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll fly him back on Monday?" So I said, "Well, yeah, as long as you pay Bill, Bill, are you okay to do it?" And they were very generous. They paid him his fees and all that. And little side story about Bill Bottrell. Not a whole lot happened with Bill. He came to me after 6 years and he said, "Del, I have a chance to work with another artist." And I said, "Well, I understand, Bill. You've been here 6 years. By the way, who are you going to be recording with?" "That's Michael Jackson." He wrote Black on White with Michael Jackson, but the point was the Ventures could spot talent, as I did. And so the albums that were done in our studio with the Ventures are some of the epic, great sounding albums, due to the fact that I had built a great studio. Bill Bottrell was a real good engineer, and the Ventures it was like a family. We all worked together. It was no competition or anything like that. Everybody just having a nice time.